Welcome in, everybody. Welcome back to another OUA preview. Wade Zanketta, Connor O'Neill here from Canadian Football Perspective and All Canadian with another OUA preview. We're going to be running back the games from week 5 coming up this week. And we're going to start with a 1 o'clock game. The Windsor Lancers looking to extend that win streak, that top 10 win streak, taking on the Western Mustangs in this one.
And the Windsor Lancers currently 0-1 on the road, but 2-0 at home over two top-ranked teams. This is a big test for them to go on the road against the top team in the OUA West, in the Western Mustangs. Their defense will have to be on their game as they try to stop Trey Humes and Keon Edwards, the nation's top rushing attack.
It's going to be kind of that Guelph formula, right? Take those running backs off the field, use your defense to squeeze down their playmakers, and force Jackson White to beat you with his arm. On the other side of the ball, for the Western Mustang, you need to take David Adeniran off the field in the sense that you need to keep him off the field as a playmaker, use your defense, limit his damage, because when he gets going, we see how it impacts that Windsor offense and how it impacts the outcome of games.
And the next game on the docket, the Red and Blue Bowl, coming live from Varsity Stadium. The 0-3 York Lions going to take on the 1-2 Toronto Varsity Blues. Both teams looking to get back in the win column. For York, the special teams will have to be cleaned up. We saw them get 3 kicks blocked again last week. And for Toronto, can you stop the run game? Can your defense bail you out when you need it to the most?
Yep, another case of stopping the run here for Toronto. Darnell Jarrett had a big day against the GGs last week. So it's going to come down to Toronto's ability to stop the opposing running backs. And you also need to watch out for Noah Craney because he had a big day passing against those GGs as well. York is starting to roll a little bit, and Toronto can't get trapped by the 0-3 record.
The final 1 o'clock game on the OUA slate this weekend, the Laurier Golden Hawks traveling to the Hammer to take on the McMaster Marauders, who are coming off of an overtime loss to the Windsor Lancers. For Mac, limit the turnovers. We've seen your offense cruise against a team like Waterloo. When you keep the ball in your hands, against Windsor, your 3 interceptions did not help your case. I'm looking for them to tidy up their game, tidy up their offensive performance, and get back to their game plan.
I expect Mac to come out a little bit upset, a lot of bit upset after that loss. I totally expect him to sling the ball all over the field. That's been the identity of the Marauders offense through this season so far. And we see what happens when Dweck is throwing 3 touchdowns instead of throwing 3 interceptions. So yes, I agree. Limit the damage, limit the turnovers. And for Laurier in this one, do the exact same thing that you did against the Western Mustangs, because you were up going into the second half of that ball game. Your defense has veteran presence on it. It's fast. It plays aggressive. And use the strength of your running backs to defeat these McMaster Marauders.
Moving into the 3 o'clock game, the Carleton Ravens traveling to Kingston to take on the 4-0 Queens Gales. For Queens, the recipe, you guys know it is as simple as can be. Rashid Tucker, 100 yards, get to that mark, and your offense starts to cruise.
Yeah, for Queens, let Rashid rock. If that happens, their offense is in good shape. Always need to be aware of Richard Burton. Didn't have a touchdown last week, but he did still have a beautiful catch up the sideline. Another long bomb from James Keenan. So should be a fun one here for Carleton. I mean, again, Nathan Carter, once he gets rolling, that's going to allow your passing game to open up. We saw that happen. Van Koffnet, 185 and 2 touchdowns in their win over Toronto. So again, both offenses are going to be kind of running through their ground games, and that is going to be used to open up their wide receivers.
Nightcap, here we go. The Waterloo Warriors against the Guelph Gryphons. Guelph coming off a loss. They are going to need their defense to do everything in their power to have another performance like they have the last couple weeks. Their defense has been on fire this season, and they're going to need it against Waterloo, who brings in Trey Ford and that electric Warrior offense.
One of the fastest defenses in the OUA right now. Jared Beeksma has been playing lights out. AJ Allen has been playing lights out, as has really the rest of the Guelph defense. We saw them limit Queens to just 14 points last week. Again, a ton of playmakers for that Gales offense. Same thing going into this game, a ton of playmakers for the Waterloo offense, I mean, obviously you're going to need to limit the damage of Trey Ford, but really, if you can take his wide receiving weapons away from him and force them to beat you on the ground, at least you can kind of start to keep everything in front of you. So I think for them, it's limit the guys on the outside and try to kind of contain the run game. Just don't let them score.
And if you're looking to catch any of these games, tickets are still available for most of them. So head to the local teams' websites to find the tickets, or you can catch these games on OUA TV. It is free to sign up. You get every game live and on demand. So take a look this weekend, catch some of these great OUA games, and enjoy what is going to be a great football week.
And we will catch you guys next week. Thank you so much for tuning in.